your boy, Captain Colds.
Whoa, your boy Cash here, featuring...
Is he the third man? He's the third man!
The wild card.
And this is Talking Like Champions. Welcome back to
Talking Like Champions.
Episode 5 is in the house. You know, we have Cap Cash and the third man,
The wild card.
How's everybody doing today? I'm feeling pretty good. I'm pretty juiced up for this episode today. What about you, Wildcard?
Man, we got a lot of wrestling to talk about over the weekend, over the week. It was a jam-packed Scotiabank Arena live from Toronto, Ontario, as Smackdown, Money in the Bank, and NXT Heatwave all culminated from the Scotiabank Arena, home of the 2019 NBA champions, the Toronto Raptors.
Yes, sir. Hang the banners for Kawhi. What about you, Cash? How was your weekend?
Fantastic. There was wrestling. There was wrestling Friday. There was wrestling Saturday. There was wrestling Sunday. There was wrestling Monday. There was wrestling
Tuesday.
There was wrestling
Wednesday.
There was wrestling
Thursday.
And that makes 7 days of the week.
Dude, that's a lot to talk about. So yeah, just as you said, I'm juiced up. Rock hard.
Rock hard rod.
Let's get started with
Speaking
Friday
of-
Night Smackdown.
Let's do it.
Speaking of Rock Hard Rod, we'll talk about him when we get to the Money in the Bank review.
Oh, nice. Yeah, let's bring it on. Let's go. Let's dive right in. Smackdown review. This was the go home to Money in the Bank, of course, live from Scotiabank Arena in Toronto, Ontario, Canada.
Sold out crowd.
You already know. They had to try to run the, what year was that they did Wildcard? The Summit for Money in the Bank when they all sat on the ladders and Kevin Owens and all them.
Oh,
you remember
man,
that year?
I did.
2017 maybe?
17, 18.
Somewhere. Anyway, they try to do
check
something
it.
like that at the beginning of this. You know, it's good. It's never going to top that segment. But hey, good opening. You got everybody out there for Money in the Bank and Jay and LA Knight. Drew, everybody out there standing tall. You know, Jay Uso started the show. It was a good little segment. Good start. You know, nothing
Got the
wrong with
heat
it.
everywhere on SmackDown.
Yeah.
That's exciting.
Hey, absolutely. Got ready. There was some good punchlines from LA Knight. Yeah, good opening.
Drew McIntyre asking how Jey Uso got into the country.
That was funny.
It was hilarious.
That was.
And Drew took a shots at everybody and ultimately, you know, started the good old brawl.
Yep.
And LA Knight, Jey Uso, had to take him down and stand tall and show that neither of them were going to win the Money in the Bank ladder match.
Yep. And then we move right along after that. Piper and Chelsea attack Bayley backstage. I like that they're still moving on with that storyline. I kind of thought they were just going to dub and end it after the overseas PLE events and everything. And Piper and Chelsea already having their chances. But I like that it's still kind of going. Side note, I think they're just dragging this out for the ultimate Naomi heel turn here, because I think Bayley and heel Naomi is a money match.
Yeah,
But
she's done nothing
that's a
since
later
she returned,
conversation.
so that's...
I like the
I like
Piper
it.
and Chelsea. So
I will say this, they're keeping that Piper Niven Chelsea story going along with Bayley, like I said. But I would really love after SummerSlam, after it looks like Bayley's going to defend against Nia Jax, that we continue with this, because we're going to talk more about it coming up on the Money in the Bank review. But Chelsea Green was an MVP in that women's ladder match.
Oh, yeah.
And she
Flowers.
is building and building and building. So I hope after this SummerSlam feud with Nia Jax that they continue this story with Bayley and maybe Chelsea Green getting a shot at it.
yeah, that would be dope.
And then we had the return debut match of Yes Boy,
Oh,
Pretty
yeah.
Deadly.
Super exciting. I'm a huge Pretty Deadly fan. I loved them when they were coming into UK and everything. They got to NXT after UK was done, and they won the titles pretty quick as well. And I was like, oh wow, I
they
really
won-
liked them.
I think they won it twice, or NXT twice as
I
well.
believe so, yeah. And yeah,
I don't
like
think that
they're back on our main roster.
Triple H is too big of a fan of them, though, because they took a
Pompous
loss here
jackasses.
in their return against the Street Profits.
Yeah, but can you really? I don't know. I feel like Street Profits are due for a big push. They kind of took an L with this whole the Pride thing with Bobby Lashley. We have no idea where he's at, by the way.
He's hurt.
Yeah, but how hurt? Did I ever read anything
You gotta-
about it? I'm sorry, my
You gotta
roundup
think
was low on Bobby Lashley. I actually didn't remember that he was
We'll
even
do some
hurt.
search.
Yeah, I forgot he was even hurt. So, yeah, actually, with that being said, I think the Street Profits winning was still the best thing there. But I'm liking their Pretty Deadlies at least back on my TV screen. Hopefully they stay, but we'll see.
Brings me to another tag team match on the night. Montez Ford, one half the Street Profits' wife, and Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill taking on Andy Hartwell and Candice LeRae, which it was a pretty solid match, but the big takeaway from this match was after the fact that Bianca and Jade defeated Indy and LeRae when Kathy Kelly interviewed them, and immediately afterward they declared they're going to regain their WWE Women's Tag Team Championships. I like it. I don't think they're going to get the job done. This is probably going to lead to our split and our turn of Jade or Bianca. I'd love to see Bianca go.
Hold on. It's going to lead to what? Bianca and Jade? They're going to do what?
Oh,
they're a tag team. Wild card.
Right. I didn't even think
Bianca
about
and Jade
it.
are going to
Wild
do
card.
what?
What's
Hold
that
on.
thing you
Give 'em
say
some silence.
every week?
Let's have a moment of silence for what the wild card's about to tell you. Wild card. Moment of silence
You
first.
build up tag teams and you break them apart.
You
break them apart.
Damn time. Every damn time. Yes, they do. I agree. I think they're just going to slowly drag this out a little bit longer for Bianca Jade. It could happen very soon if they're going to go with the SummerSlam plan of them one-on-one. I would say
I think
that.
they get the rematch at SummerSlam for the tag team titles.
Oh, okay, maybe so. But I mean, at the same time, what else is? If not that, what else is Bianca and Jade?
We only
gonna
got,
do?
what, 3 weeks till SummerSlam? I think that's a little too quick to push Bianca Jade. Though SummerSlam's big
No,
money.
wait, hold on. Back that up, though. Sorry, 3 weeks?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's August 3rd.
It is. It's earlier this year. That's right.
Yeah, it's early. It's
right.
soon.
Very early.
Because
I'm so
we got
used to it.
every
being as kids,
PLE
you know?
Got Bash in the Berlin.
Every
at the end of the
PLE and
month.
WWE
That's
these
true.
last couple of months have been 3 to 4 weeks apart. Like, remember back in the day, it used to be every 4 weeks there was a pay-per-view. And now it's the same
And
thing again.
SummerSlam
kind of.
always lined up. We'd have to go back to school that weekend right after.
Yeah.
So,
But not this time. School starts in 2 or 3
So maybe
weeks
you're right,
after
yeah.
SummerSlam.
I think they will drag out Bianca Jade. I guess it sounds like, maybe they will rematch it at SummerSlam. Maybe the turn will
They
happen.
added
there.
in Bash at Berlin at the end of August.
So
now.
maybe
That's
the turn happens there? Maybe to be honest, at the end of that would be a huge SummerSlam moment, right? That'd be
Well-
another SummerSlam moment.
Maybe you do a fatal. Sorry, not to cut. We were both talking at the same time there, Wildcard.
Yeah, good-
I'm not
good
trying
job,
to cut you
y'all.
off. I think maybe you do a fatal 4-way or something of those sorts at SummerSlam to get a lot of women on a tag
Multi-women,
and a
okay.
tag team fatal 4-way tag team qualifier to fight where they're going to be at Bash at Berlin. That's the hometown of the tag team champions. Basically, again, you're going to be over there in that home country over there.
Very true,
So
very true.
maybe that's where they lose and they do the old title swappage. What were you going to say, Wildcard?
I feel like actually we'll get to it in a couple of weeks when we get to that SummerSlam preview, but I really think that Bianca and Jade will actually win and get a SummerSlam moment themselves, regaining the tag team championships. I think it's a little too early for that turn on either one of them. I still feel like Jade needs a little more work.
Rumble maybe, right?
Rumble, I mean, you could even go Survivor Series. We got a long time before we get to WrestleMania season before you can even think about this. I mean, you could actually do the turn in the Women's Royal Rumble match itself.
That's what I was thinking.
true.
She just throws her out of nowhere and she gets pissed off.
So it could
what
be
the
good for
hell?
them to win the title again, like you
And,
said. Yeah, that's very cool.
I think that's some good input there. Kevin Owens, Randy Orton, and Cody Rhodes had to put some adrenaline in our souls. Coming out in a heartfelt promo from Kevin Owens as he was talking about his mother being in the hospital. Very unfortunate, and they're in Canada, his hometown. KO's mom would want him to be there, he said, and would want him to be there for the Money in the Bank, and that's exactly what they're going to do. Which brings me to, we got the main event. So after Kevin Owens, Randy Orton, and Cody Rhodes cleared the ring, we went on to Bayley versus Piper Niven. If you remember that Cash said earlier, Piper and Chelsea attacked Bayley backstage, which it seems to me that they're going to continue this rivalry here. This was actually kind of a chaotic match. We did get to see about 5 women grace our screens at this time. It's good for the main event scene, and we know who's in the main event scene for the women's division on SmackDown. We had Naomi and Chelsea Green fighting ringside. Then Tiffany Stratton, who has the Money in the Bank.
Yep.
Didn't have the Money in the Bank yet, but she came down. You know, she's been involved with Nia Jax and everything like that. And Tiffany takes out Chelsea and Naomi, and then Bayley hits the Rose Plant, picks up the victory.
Just another moment to push the women's.
And then Nia comes out to push the SummerSlam feud. So I like it. We got to see all these women on the screen, at the same time during the same segment, and that's a good way for everybody to get TV time. What do you think about it?
No, it was good. Like I said, it just kind of really did push both rivalries at the moment. The Money in the Bank rivalry with all women, of course, building, and then Nia, obviously, not bad. very good. But listen, nothing's going to top the main event of the evening because my boys, Regeneration X, old Shawn Michaels and Triple H, they won the WWE Tag Team Championships, baby. No, seriously, DIY did it. I'm freaking happy. Wild card.
It was A-Town Down Under defending their tag team championships against DIY. This is also really great here. It was good at the end of the match because Gargano had Grayson Waller in the submission, and Austin Theory was going to try to make the save, and Ciampa locks him into the submission. Same arena that they first won NXT championships at.
Yep.
Who'd they beat? I know who they beat. Do you?
No, I don't.
Oh no!
They used their move
against
in the move. All right, they used their move in the match.
Or the Revival?
Yeah. We'll take STR. It's acceptable.
Super happy about DIY. I mean, we've been
I'm waiting for Ciampa to hit this RKO on Randy Orton. If y'all are not watching this on social media,
Go ahead,
I'm watching every week.
I'm popping.
He tried on the staircase. He tried backstage, and then he's like, "Oh, he knows I'm not coming here."
Yeah.
Still moved out of the way.
Yep, it was good.
I'm popping every time for that. That's great work by them guys. Again, get yourself over. Use social media.
Social media is huge right now, and it works for them, and it's awesome. Aside from them being freaking fantastic wrestlers.
And as you said, it was a great ending with both men tapping out there at the end. A little tease of the A-Town Down Under heel turn and face turn for Austin Theory. But then we abruptly think that SmackDown's about to end when we get this pretty cool little package from Solo Sikoa and the Bloodline talking about why he needed to become the Tribal Chief and how he's going to defeat Cody Rhodes, Randy Orton, and Kevin Owens at Money in the Bank.
He also mentions that he is the head of the table, and he specifically calls out the Tribal Chief, and he's Roman Reigns, and he says, Roman, if you want the head of the table, come take it from me.
Yeah, and I love that they're actually acknowledging that aspect.
Oh yeah, Solo's finally stepping into the role, and he's doing it well. Everyone was kind of shitting on him for the last, month or two. Oh, no aura, almost, blah, blah, blah. Now, look.
He's a great heel. He is. This is a big moment. And I don't want to say kid, but this is a big moment for this kid because right now he is basically main event. We can speculate that he will face Cody Rhodes for the WWE Championship at SummerSlam.
Yeah.
Whether he wins or not, does Roman come back? We'll all get to that at the SummerSlam prediction show.
Absolutely. Solo stepped into this role and he's doing great. Everyone was shitting on him for weeks, like I said. Now, the last 2-3 weeks now, everyone all over the IWC, I've been reading them everywhere. Oh, Solo's just killing it right now. He's doing so good. I've known that since the start. I've been a Solo fan since I saw him coming in on NXT, and I was like...
We seen him live, NXT.
Yeah. When I was, reading the dirt sheets, seeing
one of his
dudes coming,
one of his debuts,
Uso.
I'm sorry. Yeah, one of his debuts.
Yeah, saw Third Uso coming, and I've been a fan since, so. Hell of an ending. SmackDown was awesome. But now, let's take you right in.
Money
To Money in the Bank. The review. Live from Scotiabank Arena in Toronto, Ontario, Canada, from the Wildcard himself. Gave us Trish Stratus as the host.
Hot day.
It's time to rock and roll.
Oh,
It's time in the show.
Oh, right now on the streets, I got the keys to the city. That's as I get down. No, we love Trish Stratus. Come on now, let's
And
go.
she definitely had the keys to the city of Toronto as she comes out. But let's get the action quickly as we open up with the men's Money in the Bank ladder match. Drew McIntyre, Carmelo Hayes, LA Knight, Jey Uso, Chad Gable, and Andrade all vying for a shot to become Mr. Money in the Bank.
And who other than that damn Drew McIntyre? He won.
This match was great. There were spots all over it. I'm loving the over-the-ring shots, especially during these Money in the Bank ladder matches.
The Wile E. Coyote cam.
Oh,
as they used to
they
call
are
it.
awesome.
I love
These guys,
Shout out Logan Paul. That's
that's
his kind of stuff.
He fought for that shot. Remember he said it, yeah. That camera shot. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this out of the way so that way I could say it. I loved this Money in the Bank match. I also didn't think it was one of the better Money in the Bank matches. I feel like the spots were good, but for some reason, it wasn't due to the people in it. Because honestly, reading this on paper, this could have been the best men's Money in the Bank match ever. And it was good. It was very good. It wasn't bad at all. I just didn't get that, wow, they just cooked feeling in that match. Nonetheless, it was great. I feel like every man, this is the positive note I will say, every man got to shine. I feel like there was a moment at least where everybody felt like they were going to win and had you feeling like they could, or big spots, and everyone looked very good. Not one man looked bad, so I will give that positive to it.
And I don't believe that any of us picked Drew McIntyre on episode 4. But if you do follow us,
dollar bets the day
if you do follow us on X, then you will know that I did change my pick and take Drew McIntyre ahead of time. Yes, I won that $1.
Yes.
$2 from these bums.
That's okay. I would get my refund later on in the night.
He would. Which brings me on to the next match at Money in the Bank. The one that these two were most excited for. It was Braun Breaker taking on the Intercontinental Champion, Sami Zayn.
Now, this match, to me, I went in, this was going to be my match of the weekend.
Fell flat for you.
It was alright, yeah, it fell flat for me. I definitely, honestly did not see Sami Zayn winning clean, and that's exactly what he did here to Braun Breaker at one of the biggest premium live events of the year. It also went a lot longer than I thought. I would have thought 5 minutes would have been perfect for here.
I think we did say 10 though on the show, and it went for 13. So,
Yeah. So
not longer than expected for sure. Did not expect it to go that long.
and like I said, definitely didn't see Breaker losing clean here to Sami Zayn. But shout out to Sami Zayn.
He's beating who now?
They're definitely winning. They're
gearing him up.
They're gearing him up. They're definitely.
He's got to win the World Heavyweight Championship.
They're telling a story here for sure, and it's going to be interesting. We're going to get into our Raw review that this story is actually progressing on Monday Night Raw.
Yeah, for sure. I agree. I think Sami Zayn, Braun Breaker had the means to be great. It was good, very good again. Just not fantastic. Wasn't at the edge of my seat. I was shocked that Braun Breaker didn't win them. Now, as wild card, so we get to Monday night, we'll talk about that. I will change my ideas and how I feel about that. But as of Money in the Bank,
fell a little flat for you.
Fell a little flat, and I was a little mad that Sami Zayn did retain here. That's nothing against Sami Zayn. Are you kidding me? I am a huge Sami Zayn fan. I love that.
They just didn't have the chemistry yet. That's all.
Yeah, maybe
Braun's
that's
young.
you know?
He's still working his way up, and it's nothing on Braun. It's nothing on Sami. But sometimes those chemistries just don't mesh as good as we think.
Sometimes those styles, and
that's just.
And it was like 13 minutes was good. That was the correct time.
Might have been too long though.
No, well that's what I was saying. So like 13 minutes was the correct time for these men, but they either needed their match fell flat, so they needed to add a couple minutes, or they needed to take a couple away.
It's because Sami is always playing that underdog role, so he has to get beat up. He always has to get beat up for a little while, and that drags the match a little bit, like because he has to have that spot to build back up because he's so good at doing that. This brings me to the most devastating news that happened inside Scotia Bank Arena at Money in the Bank, as the man that nobody can see was cutting a promo.
And let me tell you, there was nothing we couldn't see. We saw this, and I cried.
I think every person in attendance cried. Wildcard.
Not only can you not see him, but with your eyes you are crying hysterically as John Cena, the main event, the franchise.
What'd he do?
Announces
What?
No.
that 2025
Don't tell. I don't want to hear it again.
No.
will be his
What now?
final in-ring performance.
Don't say it.
Oh no!
Stating that the Rumble Elimination Chamber in
I'm getting
WrestleMania
teary-eyed now, fellas.
will be his last, and also announces in the presser that he is right now scheduled, I believe, between 30 and 35 dates.
30 to 40, he said.
30
So
to 40
35
days.
sounds like a good yes.
Looks like he's going to be at least
there's-
on weekly television.
Yeah, because there's 52 weeks a year, so he has to be in some big
If not, it's going to be an every other week kind of thing.
Give me Super Cena.
Now, I did see Sam Roberts say this, and I 100%
Super Cena.
agreed with this. No, Randy Orton needs to be Cena's final
Oh, I agree.
opponent.
I 100% agree.
Do not let them touch.
Don't Baron Corbin me.
Do not let them touch at all.
We love you, Baron.
In December of next year, hold a special premium live event called Thank You, John,
Hey!
where those two would have their final confrontation in Cena's very last match. Perfect. Unbelievable.
He
But
said, "Thank you, John."
that's
I have-
that's what he said.
I love it.
That's, it's going to be like Tom Brady retiring for the New England Patriots.
No, yeah, this is WWE's biggest retirement ever, in my opinion. I mean, we've seen
Just
Rick
name the
do it.
PLE Super Cena.
Look, we saw Rick do it. We saw Shawn do it. We've seen plenty of people do it. We saw Daniel Bryan Edge do it. Obviously, due to injury, that's something else. But just leaving their career and going, we saw Shawn and Rick do it. I say they were the two biggest, maybe. But
that they
Cena?
actually told you, hey, we're going to retire.
Yeah.
This is it. Even though Rick came back, Shawn came back. Cena, I fully feel like
that,
he said,
this is
he's
different,
done.
Man. It's just like Wildcard said. This is your franchise.
This is Tom Brady.
This is your literal main eventer for the last 20 damn years plus. This guy has done everything. He made you love him, hate him, or love him the entire time or hate him the entire time. Right now nobody hates John Cena. And if anybody boos him, it's because they're booing with tears of joy running down their face, brother. I'm telling you.
They're booing to have fun.
It also is a big shock because Cena did announce that he wanted to retire at 50, but that's 3 years away, guys. That's 3 years away. He announcing that it's going to happen now.
Well, he'll be 48 when he retires.
And it looks like that basically he's finishing up Peacekeeper right now, Peacekeeper Season 2 right now. And it
Peacemaker.
He's in Georgia filming right now, actually.
Peacemaker, and it looks like he may get one more project in before we get to the Rumble. But it looks like we got Cena big time. I know personally Talking Like Champions is going to bring you a special edition show all about John Cena.
Oh, you're damn right.
What he should do in this final year.
Oh, yeah.
There's definitely going to be a bonus episode coming up soon, but it's big. It's shocking, and let me tell you, that shirt is fire. Definitely going to have to order that.
We're all ordering one. Absolutely.
I need a towel. I need the wristbands. I got to feel 12 again.
I want it all. I do. Yeah.
Hell, you think this was?
You know how we all feel. I think every fan there feels the same about that promo and that same with John Cena. Heartwarming, sad, but happy for him. Happy for us as fans. We're going to see some amazing shit. We love John Cena.
And what a crazy segue do we have into our next match on Money in the Bank. From that incredible, crazy announcement retirement by John Cena to a crazy, incredible World Heavyweight Championship match between Damian Priest and Seth Rollins.
This kills me. This kills me because, The Rock is basically done. Cena is done. And now my man Seth freaking Rollins challenges for the World Heavyweight Championship. And what happens? Whoa. I'll let you serenade for a minute. Whoa.
Oh, you said something happened? Something Drew.
And this man cashes in
his Money in the Bank contract.
Blasphemy.
Which he said he was going to.
And this might be one of our longer segments,
It's still blasphemy.
He did say he was going to do it. But, Wildcard, how did you feel about this? Because this pissed me off.
So, I know our stream was going in and out, so I also pulled up Peacock, so I ended up a little bit, 30 seconds ahead of you guys.
Oh, we know.
And to be able to see what transpired.
Dickhead.
Before we knew, because that's what he does.
Technically y'all are behind. So after it transpired, CM Punk comes in and absolutely destroys Drew McIntyre.
Thought he was going to bleed him.
Now that was golden.
That was the good part of it, right?
Obviously, because storyline wise, so it doesn't piss. It pisses me off because once again we get a failed cash in. Now the Money in the Bank is gone for a whole entire year,
and WWE Shop is going to continue to sell Drew McIntyre, winner of Money in the Bank.
Exactly. Yep. Yeah, you're damn right. They're going to make that money. And Drew does get that accolade on his career, which is deserving for Drew McIntyre. So now after re-signing a new contract, he's won a championship, won a briefcase, and is in the biggest feud in WWE, in my opinion.
Right now,
So it pisses me off for the aspect of, like I said, failed cash in, another year for it. But to me, it just tells me we know who our champions are going to be. Cody Rhodes is going to continue to hold that championship probably till WrestleMania and maybe a little bit longer. He's not going to go into a Roman Reigns run.
Or maybe go on a tangent.
And then we're going to go to the World Heavyweight Championship, which Gunther's probably going to beat Priest, but we could see something else. We'll obviously talk about that more on the SummerSlam preview show. I don't want to take too much time on this segment because obviously Seth Rollins' biggest thing here is not being able to challenge for the World Heavyweight Championship, which absolutely pisses me off, but I understand and love the story. What about you, Cash?
As I will interrupt here.
Sorry, Wildcard. You.
Seth Rollins cannot challenge for the World Heavyweight Championships as long as Damian Priest is World Heavyweight Championship.
You're right.
So for all we know, Gunther could win that World Heavyweight Championship. And Seth's next challenge. But I will say this. There has been a long, long time since WWE has been able to put a story together that a title has not had to be included. And this Drew McIntyre and CM Punk
Cody
story,
Brock was alright, but
it was alright. This is better.
Oh, definitely. I agree.
This is 100% better.
This is Booker T Stone Cold.
And this is also, like, go back to it. If you have to understand why Wade Barrett is so emotional about this, it's because CM Punk was the bully when Drew McIntyre was first in the WWE. This is where all this is stemming from. If you think it's because of Drew McIntyre's ego and a torn tricep at the Royal Rumble, you're dead wrong. But not only that.
That just helps.
But not only that, we have just now, with the ending of this match, interjected Seth Rollins back into this feud.
With CM Punk.
Yep.
This is WrestleMania 41.
This is a three-way that we could easily carry into WrestleMania. With one fighting the other fighting this one.
Big money match.
Punk being hurt and currently riding two of the most personal and
best thing for
deep rivalries at one time right now is best for business. Best for Punk, best for Drew, best for Seth. CM Punk is best for business.
That
I'll die on that
Seth
hill.
Rollins is coming.
I know there's fans that are going to hear this and they're going to say, oh, fuck Punk. That's fine. You guys can be fuck Punk. I will never be fuck Punk. I'm sorry. I see the vision and I do. CM Punk is best for business. He's killing the game right now while hurt.
Best in the
Drew
world.
was killing the game while he was hurt. Seth's been killing the game. Oh, while he was hurt at one point. I mean, come on. These men have got it all. Damian Priest. Shout out to him, man. Because honestly, you can't overshadow him. Nobody talks about him enough. He's a fucking man in that ring.
And we can't forget.
I will address it. I will address it.
Okay. So we couldn't let it slip.
I am going to put my opinion. Yes, it's easy to say, oh, yes, he did make a mistake. And that's what Triple H used to say. He was like, oh, it's a mistake. Don't look into it. Whatever. I really think he got a win knocked out of him, or he got a something knocked. If you look close, he just kind of looked like he wasn't there at that moment when he got pinned. I'm not going to lie. I mean, I might reach.
They say it's production issue. Maybe they covered up. Who knows?
Maybe so.
Either
but he
way,
looks like he
Seth freaking Rollins should have been the WWE World Heavyweight Champion. What happened when Shinsuke Nakamura failed to kick out against R-Truth on SmackDown?
Yeah, R-Truth.
R-Truth
happened. Yeah,
spontaneously became the United States Championship.
Yes.
Fuck it. You should have let Seth do it.
You know?
Sorry.
And I think the only reason they didn't let that happen is because there's just so many implications with this whole CM Punk Seth in the future here. It's just not time right now, and they don't want to do that right now.
And then they would have to kick Priest out of the Judgment Day, so I understand why you can't call the three, because then it's like, well, shit, now there's so much that just messed up so much.
Listen, Priest doesn't get enough flowers. I want to get back to that before I go off here. Look, Priest does not get enough flowers. Shout out to him. Other than the botch. Yes, man's doing great right now. Deserves this world title reign. And it's just like we'll talk about a little bit more on our Monday review. Talk a little about what happened there. It dives into more of that. So shout out Priest. Shout out to Seth, Drew, Punk. Great ending way to do that. And only a match that was just under 15 minutes, by the way.
And I will say this, not only has Damian Priest improved in the ring, but like his character work. When I see him, he is hilarious. When he's in these segments with Dominic or either Finn Balor, he can be serious.
And if you remember a couple episodes ago, I did say, I was like, I feel like Priest is a little dry at times. But now, like you said, as of late, the last couple of weeks for sure, leading up to this PLE, he's been money.
They're booking him smart.
Yeah, I think they're doing great. Like I said,
they're playing into his forte, whatever he's best at.
Bottom line, don't let people like Punk, Seth, and Drew, we already know they're great. They've got bouquets of flowers, overshadow the World Heavyweight Champion. All rise.
Which brings me to the women's Money in the Bank.
Money!
In my opinion, this is probably the match of the night.
A lot of people are actually saying this is one of the best women's Money in the Bank ladder matches of all time.
I might even say it's the best. It was fire.
These women were off the chain.
And it came in at just under 17 minutes. Do you believe that? 6 women put on a showcase for 17 minutes, and it was a banger.
With botches. Multiple. It was such a car crash that it was a beautiful car crash. I swear.
I just want to take a moment for Zoe Stark because, my God, what happened to her?
She got
absolutely destroyed.
Is that the Michinoku driver on the ladder?
Woo!
It was so safe. Like,
oh yeah, you had her head tucked.
Yeah, dude, she did. She had her head touch. She did great with it. But at the same time, good God, she came down at such a little bit of this angle.
She
on
definitely
her
got
blades,
a concussion, though,
on her
because
blades
not
back
only
there, dude,
that spot she took, but she also had that botch of the crazy
she
move
did
she
her,
does. And she blasted her neck when she did that
Yeah, she-
springboard.
the
Man, I felt
corkscrew
so...
front flip that she does.
Yeah, I felt so bad for
I
her
did,
right there,
dude,
but
and that's
man.
part of the botches. But like I said, all these botches. There was I don't know, probably 2, 3, maybe 4 different times. If I really went back to look, that I could have counted a botch.
Biggest match botch of the night was the main event, though.
Dude, nonetheless, let me tell you, man, we're gonna get to that. Tiffany Stratton, she absolutely deserves women's Money in the Bank. Tiffy time, wild card. Was this the right winner?
He called it.
This was absolutely the right win. But we cannot even scratch the surface on this women's Money in the Bank without talking about the MVP of Chelsea Green.
But
Yeah,
that spot off the ladder when Tiffany pushed her, oh my God, golden.
Oh, yeah.
It was great. It was also safe. I love it.
I was gonna say that's probably one of the safest.
Oh, she landed flush.
Top-
If you
top
look,
ladder falls
they had
up
the
there.
best
Yeah.
placement of that table. She landed dead center.
Placement of that ladder, dude. It was
her
perfect.
back, her body landed dead center in the dead center of that table.
Literally
It
half
was
her body
literally,
waist
yes,
down was
bro.
front table. The top half of her body was back table.
And she
went
was
through it
right in the
perfect.
middle of both sides of the
Yes.
table. Like, oh,
Yeah, no.
perfect spot.
Shout out Chelsea freaking Green, dude, man. She's a G. I've loved her since she was Laurel Van Ness in TNA. Don't play with me. Come on now.
And because Drew already cashed in, we need to have somebody heel. That's Money in the Bank.
I'm doing
Tiffany is the
200
perfect
plus days
candidate
right now.
That's
At
that's why I
least.
said Chelsea when on episode 4 that I thought that Chelsea would walk away with the briefcase because she also fits the bill here
Sure.
to play this character.
Because
but
the
Tiffany's
briefcase
gonna live up to it.
It's like a title for somebody like Tiffany or Chelsea. You know, they carry that thing around for 200 plus days, dude. It's like a championship.
They're never
because
letting go. They're like
a whole new character.
What's
now
his name with
Money.
Lord of the Rings with the ring?
Schmeargle. I don't know if that's smear.
You trying to talk about?
Shout out Andy Serkis.
Trying to talk about Dobby? Mr. Give Dobby a shot? No kidding. No, yeah. Shout out to Tiffany Stratton.
And the main event of the evening was the 6-man tag. Well, we originally thought it was going to be Tonga Loa teaming with Solo Sikoa and Tama Tonga, but
Yeah,
it
we
actually
did see
was
that first.
Jacob Fatu in his
Thank God.
debut match on a
Thank
PLE.
God.
That's huge.
Thank God here. I'm gonna.
And
go
did he
ahead and get it out of
absolutely
the way. Listen.
slop?
Yeah, let me get it out of the way now. Jacob Fatu is a fucking machine. Wild card.
He no-sold
What?
Randy Orton's
What?
signature middle rope DDT.
What?
Oh,
right off.
And as the Orton is panning and taunting to the camera, Jacob Fatu just comes right up. And as Randy goes and starts pounding on the mat for that RKO,
Oh, yeah.
and looks up,
Vintage Orton, as Cole would say.
and looks up and sees Jacob Fatu looking at him with this anger in his eyes. It was unbelievable. That moment right there, you have made Jacob Fatu into a star in WWE with
Yeah,
that
just
moment right
with
there.
Randy Orton. That's the exact way to put him over right there.
And it was a hell of a match all the way through.
Longest
coming
match
in
of the
just
night.
under 25 minutes, as it should. Great main event. More on Jacob Fatu. I'm going to keep it going right now because, man, this dude, I followed him enough on the indie scene. Not long, just enough to know more about him. Of course, the Bloodline families brought us all into all of this. That man was, what? I don't want to say too many pounds, but easily 50, 60, 70 pounds. He dropped that before he came on to the main roster. And when he went
looks
up
great.
for that springboard, oh my God, right at the end of the match there, wild card, you remember that? He hit that springboard, came back. Oh God. Now imagine that with an extra 70 pounds on him.
This
Looking like Umaga back in the day, R.I.P. That was his size.
He needs to be the size that he is now.
Yes.
He is going to be a problem.
That's my point.
He is
dude.
going to
when
be
he
a
was
future
bigger,
champion.
He still
World
hit that
champion.
move, and it was nuts. To see him do it now in a much more fit body style, he literally looks like the Samoan werewolf.
If I had to put it in terms, Solo is to Roman what Jacob is going to be to Solo.
Yeah.
Okay, I like that. Yeah.
So if there's
Very
ever
good.
going to be a third tribal chief, I'm 100% looking at Jacob Fatu.
He's
And
in
those
machine.
facial expressions, that boy is just like Umaga.
I know, R.I.P. big guy. Love it. Yeah,
And-
fantastic main event nonetheless. I can
and
only talk about
like
Jacob
we
Fatu
said-
here. I love, shout out, listen, hold on. Shout out Kevin Owens' mom. I've had enough about mom stuff going on, so we hope she's doing well for Kevin. I don't want to hear about anything else. Aside from that, I think Kevin Owens put on a hell of a performance as he always does on a big stage. Any kind of match, Kevin Owens is going to go hard as hell, and he always does. Randy Orton's a legend. What can't he do? Cody Rhodes, your WWE champion, obviously has to show out.
I do have to mention one thing, and it was my LOL moment of the night.
Oh, I think I might know where this is
And this
going.
is where Tonga Loa comes in and tries to low blow Kevin Owens, who has Tama Tonga in a package pile driver almost.
He misses his ass.
And nails his brother right in the forehead.
Dong.
First he missed, I think he tapped him in the gooch, and then he got
He didn't even
underneath
tap
him.
him in the gooch.
I think he got underneath
That's straight
him,
win.
and then hit him right in the forehead. Listen, man, I don't like shitting on wrestlers, but at the same time,
That was funny as fuck.
I'm trying not to side with the indie marks who tell me, "Oh, Tonga is terrible. Why'd they sign him?" But he's not proving them any wrong.
I mean, he botched on his debut trying to pull the referee out. Nothing against him. Like you said, he's
Right.
he's
I
a
love
former
he's there.
big-time champion.
Dude, he's incorporative and huge in the Bloodline 2.0
Maybe he's just
story. I
nervous
love
on the
it.
big stage.
Maybe, bro. So listen, shout out Tonga Low. I love you, big dog. I want to see that you can do some more. But man, you gave me some laughs, and I do
Camacho.
appreciate that. Hey, shout out Camacho. Hey, side note: if you go look on the roster, I do believe on the alumni page, Camacho is on there. But then if you get to the main roster regular page, Tonga Loa is there. You're not going to acknowledge that's the same person.
And like we said, Cody Rhodes, as we called it, is going to take the pinfall.
Roller coaster.
As Sola Sikoa proves why he is the tribal chief, pinning Cody Rhodes, which Roman Reigns could not successfully do to defend his championship at WrestleMania
Absolute
40.
right call right there. Cody Rhodes deserved to take the pin right there.
What was your favorite moment from Money in the Bank?
Ooh, kick us off, wild card. What you
I don't know if it's a favorite moment, but it's going to be the one that's going to stick with this, and that's going to be that John Cena retirement announcement.
Definitely not my favorite moment.
Nobody saw that. But if I had to pick like a favorite moment, it was kind of a little bit afterwards. It was kind of after when we were trying to do the presser here, and that's when Drew McIntyre actually stormed
great call.
that panel outside.
Oh, and he pushed Pierce.
Elbow
Pierce,
the back
pushed
elbow.
ref.
Wade Barrett took him to the back to cool him off.
That was again. It's telling me. It's showing me.
And Wade said he's down to.
He's down.
He's down
clear.
to compete.
He's ready to go.
He said that only a day or two before Money in the Bank, and then that moment happens where he gets more physical again, and that
Just
is
like
to me
Corey
even more
Graves has said, he's cleared, and all of a sudden he's been getting into some debacles here and
Yeah,
there.
he's been getting a little more physical. You know, I love that. My favorite moment had to be. God, I want to say Chelsea, but I almost think that I'm going to go with Zoe Stark. Shout out Zoe Stark. You're about to get some flowers. Yeah, you botched the one move, but holy shit,
That
you
Io
took
Sky
that
moment.
ladder
Oh, yeah.
spot, and I don't even know if you could pay me to have the trust scope on his shoulders, take that flip in your head, and you're just like, "Yep, this is gonna hurt. It doesn't matter," and it did. Shout out, girl. You get some flowers from me this time. Let's get some character work done and keep it moving. Maybe Sonya Deville will help out there.
It's not the biggest moment of the night, but I'm going to go with something that I said. I told this to my daughter. I said, they're going to have this moment because it's LA Knight and Jey Uso, and they did it on top of the ladder. Had to have a little yeet,
Yeah.
yeet,
Yeah.
yeet,
Yeah.
yeet,
Yeah.
back and forth action because we always love a little booyah.
Oh, of course. Love the booyah.
But I also really enjoyed Andrade hitting the Canadian Destroyer through the ladder on Carmelo Hayes. I called that as well. I knew Carmelo would be the guy to take that spot from Andrade because, well, Carmelo just wasn't going to win the match. So Andrade needed a way to get out, and that's a great spot for these two athletic guys to pull off. That might be your feud coming up. Maybe Carmelo Hayes will fight for the WWE Speed Championship live on X.
As we're moving on, Sunday. NXT Heatwave, the final of 3 shows live at the Scotiabank Arena in Toronto. Finishing out
Banger.
A lot of people saying best NXT PLE of all time.
I think this might have been, well, I know for a fact this was the best event of the weekend, in my opinion. I absolutely loved every match that went on. Not that I don't love every match that I watch every time that I watch wrestling, because I just like to enjoy it. You know, I just indulge, just like a Marvel movie. You might shit on it, but I'm going to enjoy the product.
Look, man, NXT brought the heat. All pun intended. Heatwave was hot. top to bottom.
And
We're
nothing
gonna dive
hotter
in here,
than
but
starting
top to bottom was
off
great.
with the women's tag team match between Ariana Grace and Carmen Petrovic taking on JC Jane and Jasmine Nix. And I know we all in this room took JC Jane and Jasmine Nix, and we
disrespect here on us.
How
getting it out
did
of the
we
way.
forget that they were hometown heroes?
I did it, and I definitely didn't remember.
It slipped my mind.
Yep.
So when they said, I was like, "Oh, you're right, Santino," because I'm thinking, "Oh, what he debuted in the red shoes and the way they were in Italy." Mm-hmm. But he's from Canada. He's a Canadian. He's a Canadian. I like that Canadian bacon.
That sounds like how Santino would say it. I am from the Canada.
So that match overall was decent,
Yeah,
and
decent, not bad, good pre-show opener. Disrespect on us, that's all I'm going to say. It's time to move on from it. I'm sorry.
You had to start the show hot.
Should have picked y'all.
You had to start the show hot.
Yeah.
Oba Femi defending his NXT North American Championship against Wesley.
Go
and
ahead,
if you
Cap,
remember
take
that,
it, 'cause
Wesley
I didn't watch this match as much as I wanted to.
Wesley was unable to capture the NXT North American Championship. And if you remember, the stipulation here was if Wesley did not win, he would never be able to challenge for the NXT North American Championship again.
Yeah.
Wildcard, what'd you think of this match?
Yeah, let Wildcard.
It was inevitable. This goes to show that Oba Femi is the real deal here. There's a bigger story to tell with Wesley. We're going to get to that when we finally wrap up this long-ass episode.
Oh, yeah.
With NXT, but he's powerful. He's a beast. There's no stopping it. He is going to be, after we cycle a bunch of these, I believe maybe WrestleMania, SummerSlam time next year, Oba Femi is going to be your NXT champion.
Oh, yeah, I could see that for sure.
Oh, no doubt, because he's just got to establish a little bit more, got some more to do.
Yeah.
Like you said, you missed the match, but there were some good spots.
I did, yeah. I missed the match. I was able to catch up and rewatch it and everything, so I didn't get that live feeling. But, yeah, same dude. I have nothing more to say. I mean, Oba Femi's a literal rock. He's a machine, dude.
Well, let's slip on
Wesley
to...
is little. I always say that. Of course, he's going to get tossed around, but Oba Femi tossed that boy around like he can toss around 3 of Wesley, and he can. And that's what's crazy. He's just a machine. So shout out Oba Femi, shout out Wesley. Great match. Nothing wrong with it.
Then we had a little nip slip in the NXT Women's North American Championship match.
Women got to be careful what they wear.
Kalani Jordan and Sol Ruka, it was a banger.
Oh, yeah.
That was, if you didn't see it...
What, that opener?
Oh, how they started? Was it Ricochet and Will Ospreay? Oh, it was fantastic. Chuck, did you see that?
I did.
Did you notice what it was?
I did see the clip. I put it side by side. It was funny. I seen that somebody said, "Oh, but Dave Meltzer would have
gave it a 5 stars.
Would have gave it a 5 star." I don't know.
Did we get the ratings yet?
Don't know if we've got the ratings in yet, so it's going to be interesting to see how that runs out. But
yeah,
I think I did have Sol Ruka winning. I actually said that Heatwave was going to be. We're changing the most titles tonight. Come to find out, we only changed one, I believe, and it's not the one that either one of us.
Yeah, Kalani Jordan Sol Ruka was awesome. I know we talked about possible heel turn at some point between one of the women. I do think they are going to go with a slow drag here. I do think something could happen in the future, but they did the hug at the end. It was all good. Great match. No, nothing wrong with it. Kalani Jordan deserves to keep it moving.
And Wildcard thought there was going to be 6 title changes. There was 2 all weekend, bud.
Yeah.
And one was on Smackdown.
Definitely didn't see that one coming.
Yeah, crazy work, right?
And speaking of tag team action,
oh my god,
Nathan Frazier, Axiom taking on Chase U.
And this
Duke Hudson is a powerhouse.
And this was interesting too because, earlier on the night that we saw Nation Frazier wasn't even there yet. Axiom was waiting on him. And then he finally shows up, and, it looks like there's some tension in that backstage segment, but these guys went out there and they got it done.
5-star match.
I think so. I think
the Canadian Destroyer in Canada off the back. Oh my god.
If he doesn't give it to him,
he breaks up a pinfall.
If he doesn't give it to him, he's going to give it 4.75.
Andre Chase breaks up the pinfall on Nathan Frazier by stepping on his back and then turns it into a Canadian Destroyer on Axiom.
Canada. Of course. Duh.
Awesome.
No, yeah. I don't think if he's gonna give him a 5, he's gonna give him a 4.75. It was that damn.
And not only that,
It was that
not only did we get a Canadian destroyer in Canada at Heatwave, we also got a little bit of stratisfaction as Duke Hudson.
Dude.
Frazier pulls himself up to the top rope, sitting there, and all of a sudden, Duke does a little flip, little ankle lock to the top of the head. And what's he do? Turn him over, turn that son bitch sideways,
Crazy,
and shove it straight up his candy ass.
Tell you, dude. Duke's
Duke
awesome.
Hudson, superstar. Booker T, love some Duke Hudson.
Yeah, dude. I love Duke Hudson. He's awesome.
We thought Chase U was going to pick up the win, all but you.
Yeah, I said it.
Hey, I'm not mad that Nathan Frazier and Axiom continue to be our NXT
It's not
tag
time
team
yet.
champions.
I feel like they've done a lot of quick reigns with the tag team titles over the last little bit, so I feel like they're going to let Frazier
Needs to hold it.
I'm just happy they're keeping them together for right now.
Yeah, absolutely, dude. They're
You don't need to break them up.
Yep, not need to do that.
And then the co-main event of
We
the
gotta get a
evening,
break 'em up button.
Roxanne Perez defending her NXT Women's Championship against Lola Vice.
Yep.
And Lola did not get to shake it tonight because Roxanne Perez is still your NXT Women's Champion.
Yep, she is. And we all said that. We all knew that Roxanne was going to retain here. She's doing the best work of her career right now. This heel turn is crazy, and it's been awesome. She's doing so damn good. She doesn't deserve a drop title right now, not at all. And shout out Lola Vice. I think she deserves to win a title soon. She's gotten from green pretty good in the ring.
Very
She's
solid.
getting there. She's gotten solid, yes. Maybe mid-card title in her future. But I like that they're putting her in the women's championship scene. She deserves to win in the breakout and then not winning with it. So, I mean, it's another chance. This is good. 2 chances now at the women's championship. She's come up short. She'll have her time. Roxanne Perez. Really good work right now.
You know who's
really
coming.
Good work.
SummerSlam weekend. Her, Yulia, gonna put on a banger in Cleveland. Unless the new signing, breaking news, here on Talking Like Champions is WWE.
Went from rumor has it to
Rumor has it.
confirmed.
The former CMLL
Yes.
Women's Champion.
Stephanie Vacour.
Ooh, who just lost to Money.
Yes, she
Mercedes Moné.
At AEW's Forbidden Door.
Yep.
Has now signed with WWE.
WWE. Yeah, great sign.
Maybe she
That's huge.
steps up because Julia's not coming yet.
Yeah, she's helping
Or
Marigold right now.
we're
which
about
is
to
good
just
for
beef
her.
up this NXT division a little more because we're about to send Roxanne up. Let's be honest. Once she loses that championship, she's coming.
Yeah, and that's why they're doing 2 signings right now. And I did read that Vacour's probably going to go down to NXT to start, which is great. Yeah, they're going to beef it up a little bit. So
Yeah, we gotta get to know her a little bit.
Sure, and I'm not mad. So yeah, Roxanne Perez all day.
And then the main event of the evening. The ending, it was fantastic. I'll
5
just tell you
stars.
that. I'll just tell
match
you the
should
ending
get
was
5
great.
stars.
So Trick Williams defends his NXT championship against Sean Spears, the Toronto hero, and Ethan Page, another Canadian hero, and Javon Evans. Because remember, that boy, Bouncy.
And bouncy he is, boy.
And what a banger it was, but let me just tell you, because I can't even hold it in this finish. Trick hits the trick shot, goes for the cover on Javon Evans while Sean Spears is laying out, Javon Evans is laid out. Ethan Page gets trick shotted, falls on top of Javon Evans.
Perfect placement by
Trick
the way.
Williams gets pulled out of the ring by Sean Spears, and next thing you know, Ethan Page is your new NXT champion.
Guys, go back and watch. I cannot remember what year it was, but this was a Backlash Fatal 4-Way match. And you can tell
Who were the 4 in it?
Shawn Michaels, John Cena, Randy Orton. I can't remember who the 4th guy
Can't
was.
remember the 4th right now either. I'm not
But
going
you
to
can
lie.
tell Shawn Michaels was in it because that finish is exactly the same as it was during that Backlash Fatal 4-Way. This was crazy. I am so proud of Ethan Page for winning this. He also...
This is his 4th match in WWE.
He now holds the record for fastest from debuting to winning the world title. Previous record was owned by Kevin Owens at 60 days. Ethan Page did this in 40 days.
And totally deserving. We love Ethan Page. Shout out. I know Wildcard and I picked Sean Spears. We were wrong but right. We picked Sean Spears because he deserves it and because he was Canadian. We were only half right. The Canadian did win. I love me all ego. I think this is I don't want to just say, well, this is a great decision because I'm definitely dick riding Ethan Page right there. I love Ethan Page. This was a risky decision. You just got him here. Like they said, 4th match. Trick Williams has been doing great work. He's gotten so much better through everything and every story that he's done.
But let's not get it twisted. As far as professional wrestling,
Trick's still over.
Trick is still green. Ethan Page has been putting this work in for years. That's why it was so deserving to either him or Shawn Spears to win this.
And that's also why we picked him there as well. So, look, I'm not mad. Now, I won't even hesitate. This is 5 stars. Yes, Meltzer
Definitely.
put it on there. I will say I did some rumor reading, and I looked. I do believe the cage match rating was up, and I don't know why, Carter, you haven't seen this. I do believe they gave it a 9.33. That is good enough to put it at number 5 right now on this year's ratings for cage match. Number 5 match of all promotions. So, it could get the 5-star here. I gotta check soon.
It's crazy. And then what do we
He
get?
slapped.
What do we get as the final shot? Ethan Page holding that NXT title.
Just a cut.
Kind of shrugs. And who do we see?
Say his name and he appears. I believe in Joe Hendry.
I believe in Joe Hendry.
Can't believe he showed up.
He didn't show up.
Oh, but he did for half a second, and it was crazy. Literally,
Didn't
I
have
was
to say
so.
his name.
It was great because I was already so jaw dropped, going, "What the fuck?" Ethan Page just won. What a finish! Like I remember, Cap and I are sitting here watching it together, and I was like, "Wow!" All of a sudden, he kind of pops up out of nowhere, and honestly, it was what. 2 seconds long at maximum. The whole first second.
It was like a QR code from Howdy.
Dude, but check it out. I can tell you because Cap and I, for the first second of the 2-second clip, we didn't even really let it hit. It was like, huh? And then all of a sudden it was like, what? There he is. Huh? And like hit you out of nowhere. It's like, what?
That was Joe Hendry.
Right. I thought they like made a mistake or something, and it was like, huh? No, dude, what a way to end the damn whole entire show. I already said at the beginning, top to bottom, Heatwave might be my favorite NXT show altogether this year so far. It was that damn good. 2 banger endings. You hit me with Ethan Page, and then you hit me with fucking Joe Hendry?
Oh, yeah.
God, take us away from NXT Heatwave.
Which brings us to our Monday Night Raw preview, where we stayed in Canada, in Ontario.
Yeah, Ontario, Canada this time, and we started with what?
Who?
The CM Punk promos, which are always worthy of my eyes on a television screen, and boy, it never fails. Wildcard, take us into the CM Punk promo.
Oh man, so we do know before coming into this that there's going to be no Drew McIntyre because Adam Pearce came on
Suspended indefinitely.
socially. He fined both CM Punk and Drew McIntyre and then suspended Drew McIntyre, but he'll be back next Monday. But CM Punk comes out there, basically cuts a, I hate Drew McIntyre. Drew McIntyre hates me. This is why I screwed him at Money in the Bank. And then Seth Rollins comes out because he's pissed because we saw that stare down at the end of that World Heavyweight Championship.
Oh, he's absolutely
on Saturday.
pissed.
And then they start going at it.
Oh,
They cooked. They cooked. Seth Rollins not happy with CM Punk. He hasn't been happy since the guy returned at Survivor Series War Games. But let's be real. We're just doing exactly what we already talked about. We're pushing this. I'm solely expecting this to be Night 1's main event. CM Punk versus Seth Rollins, maybe versus Drew McIntyre if you push it that far. And hell, you could even bring in the World Heavyweight Championship at that point. Though I don't think this feud needs it.
It doesn't. It really, really doesn't.
Well, that's why, like you said, you'd bring it in.
And you can see why Seth's pissed.
Seth and
Because
Punk,
now
would be
that
the
Seth
world title
doesn't win,
rivalry.
Seth should have won. Now that he doesn't win, he can't challenge for the world title. And as far as Seth's concerned, Damien's your champion. And that's what it's all about.
I will say this. This is a feud that can work without the title, but it can quickly, if you do not put the title in it, this feud will quickly become more
It bubbles up.
than the world title.
Yeah.
That means the world title would play second to this feud.
Which is why I think the CM Punk Seth feud is going to be, obviously, I think that'll be your world title feud. That's Punk's
Seth
world title
maybe
feud right now
wins
because
Rumble.
of the injuries. It's naturally booked Drew and Punk in this amazing rivalry. So now, this is where I think that Punk and Seth now get cooking again. That'll
I
be the world
still
title
think-
rivalry in the future.
I mean, we all think Gunther's probably going to win the title because, let's be honest, Triple H loves Gunther.
I don't think there's any.
But he
way doesn't
loves
win.
Priest. If anything, I think that Finn Balor could insert himself here and maybe help. Priest retain because maybe he wants the championship. Because we've been having a lot of friction between these two. And right after this promo, you see Seth backstage. He runs into Damian Priest, and they have a little talk about it, and he says, "You were very lucky at Money in the Bank, but you were also very good." Saying that he was putting Priest over there. And Priest said, "Hey, look, I still got a lot to prove. And when I'm done with Gunther at SummerSlam, you name the place, the time, and throw out that gentleman's agreement about Seth Rollins never challenging for the title."
I love that.
So now we can come back to it. But let's be honest, if Gunther captures the title, probably going to get Seth Gunther.
I love that
Dash
he
to
said
Berlin.
throw out the gentleman's agreement, because there was never a piece of paper that was signed or nothing that Adam Pearce said or anything like that. That it was, nope, Seth, you can't challenge for the title.
It got labeled that on TV, but who's to say? They just said it. They backpedaled themselves.
They agreed because they agreed to it, and that's fine. They can agree to what Priest wants to do. I love that they said gentleman's agreement. That's awesome because they was able to just drop it and that's cool. That's respect to Seth. Respect goes both ways. Both those men respect each other, and
they're good friends because I watched the doc. I know we all in this room watched the doc.
Yeah, everybody.
He's happy as hell for Priest that he won that championship.
Yep. Yeah, I can't wait. Yeah.
Jey Uso and Chad Gable kicked off the night. You remember these two men were in the Money in the Bank, and there was a spot that we thought was going to happen. Cash and myself both clamored for it. We wanted Howdy to come interrupt Jey Uso at the top of the ladder. We had Uso and Gable both battling up top. Looked like Uso was about to win when Drew threw that picture-perfect ladder right into the face of Jey Uso, knocking him off the ladder, to which he ultimately prevailed with the briefcase like we talked about in the Money in the Bank review. But then the more interesting thing with this was when the match was over, as the match was ending, the lights started to dim. And you know what that meant?
Happening again.
With Gable involved, the fog fills the ring with a dead Gable in the middle of the ring after just getting eaten.
Go ahead.
Jay gives a final
yeet. And runs the fuck out of there.
He yeeted out of there. He got the yeet out of there.
And then now, because he hasn't been there in a few weeks, because, sorry, calling the Nolans to see your family, Mr. Pat McAfee, lost your father-in-law, but you were back on Monday Night Raw, and you finally received the package that was for you this entire time.
Yep, finally, right?
Nikki hands him that package, and we got to play this tape, and he said, "Cole, this is your job, not mine."
Right, side note, with that being said, and now that Pat is back from the personal matters he had to attend to, does that mean that we're going to see some more on the Pat McAfee show, or are they going to get back to
So the show's been on hiatus with tennis going on all week. And,
okay, so I knew of the personal matters, I knew that, but
so
I know you pay attention.
He's been out for 2 weeks now, so
but due to tennis,
show should be back Monday afternoon, I believe.
So yeah, that leads my question then, do we
might see something.
With YS6
maybe
now? Do we pick back up because they got two pieces in?
They teased it for weeks because it happened
2 weeks in
his hometown in Indianapolis. It all happened
exactly, and I felt
it just was bad timing with all that
because he couldn't be there. I feel like
there's never good timing for it, but
so yeah, great.
And then when we cut to the back after that. Who was Adam Pearce was talking?
Hold up.
Talking to somebody. They opened the door. Who the hell was sitting there?
Hold up. Let's build up to it first. Chad Gable is super bad right now, and he says,
"Oh, he's down bad.
He's super mad. He's kind of over it. He wants to leave for a little bit." Adam Pearce has clearly stated that they have doubled and even tripled security over the past couple of weeks. Says he'll take care of it. He opens the door. We see a man hunched over with his hand in front of his face.
God, he looked like Bray.
And he looks up, and who do you see? Mr. Bo Dallas. Bo Dallas has returned to your WWE screens, not in a persona, for the first time in how many years?
And not in a promo either.
And not in a there.
Yeah.
He might not be Bo Dallas, so that could just be Taylor.
Yeah, we don't know. He could. He might. Yeah, he might even be.
Yeah, could be.
That would be crazy.
Remember
to see
when
too.
Bray just said, "I just want to talk to you guys as Bray as Wyndham"?
Could he even go like Bo Wyatt? He could. You never know. There's going to be something there. But either way, yeah. Also, what Cap
and
said.
then it brings...
Immediately when we come in, dude, that blonde hair, dude, it was like,
oh yeah,
dude was like,
he looks
that
just like him.
Like,
yeah,
so
man,
quick,
you had to double take.
You have to love it, honestly. You got to love to see it moment, right?
And then we continue backstage, and Big Bronson Reed bumped into Shamo.
Yep.
And then he had a match with his former brute, the brawling brute, Mr. Pete Dunne. And that was a banger.
Yeah,
Pete Dunne can have a match with anybody, I'll tell you that.
but it was what happened after the match what was important.
When
something I did not
Big
see
Bronson
coming.
Reed picks up the dub.
Of course, as he should.
And then he goes to hit a second tsunami off the top rope, and what do you know? Who did he bump into backstage? Sheamus. Sheamus comes out to aid his former buddy and Pete Dunne, and what's interesting is Tyler Bate hurt? I'm not sure about
Yes,
that
he
right
is
now.
actually
Yes,
confirmed.
he is.
That's what I thought. Okay.
Yeah, he just got
So it
surgery.
makes sense, and this is the way to start this feud with him. And then Sheamus comes out, takes out Bronson Reed, dispatches of him. He gets out of the ring, makes the save, whatever. Oh, yeah, it's good to see you, fella. Do a big dap up, big hug. And when he hugs Pete Dunne, he gives him this disgusted look, pushes him, and gets out of the ring like he wants nothing to do with his former mate. And if you remember...
Shocker to me.
What happened with Ridge Holland when they did this? He was like, oh, when he came to him on NXT, he said something. Oh, you just left us and da-da-da. And he was pissed off because
You never really got to hear.
you never really got to know what happened. But Ridge left the Brawling Brutes and Sheamus was injured. But when Sheamus came back, he didn't say, hey, what's up, boys?
Yeah.
He was just all about himself and, everything else. So this is a good side feud because now Ludwig is hurt. So you had to pivot with Sheamus to a different direction, and same type of character work with Pete Dunne. I'm excited
good on
for
Triple
it.
H.
And you got Big Bronson Reed involved, and he's been in nothing but bangers as well.
This is good on Triple H. Good pivots, like you said. I was shocked. I was, because I didn't think they were going to do anything with it. I just thought we were going to have a little moment because I knew said parties were hurt, and I was like, all right, maybe Pete and Shamo back tag team right now. Okay. Did not expect to go to a possible feud here. This is cool. So I like it. Let's see. Give Pete Dunne some flowers. Let's go.
And then, like the wild card hit on here earlier during the Money in the Bank review, Sami Zayn and Braun Breaker aren't done yet.
Thank
Sami
God.
talks about how he beat him, and Braun comes out and says, well, Sami, I have no reason to get a rematch. And then he just turns around, spears the living hell out of Sami Zayn.
Oh,
He is
God.
getting these. Again, I'm loving these over the ring camera shots because this one that they posted the other day, the speed that he can travel, and that I can barely speak. It's that unbelievable.
Did you notice how fast he was going? That at one point, because they're doing those cameras like you said, did you see him almost slip?
Yes,
actually,
I saw that.
Yes,
And he caught himself right before he made the impact of that spear straight to the sternum of Sami Zayn.
I'm telling you, as soon as he cut that corner, it's when the slip happened. I was like, like when you saw the replay, it was like, holy
could've been
hell.
bad.
It could have been bad, and dude is that freaking good. I love Braun Breaker. And as
then
I
who
said
comes
earlier, dude, loving it.
None other than the guy who's been poking his nose in Braun Breaker's business since they both arrived on the scene. Because you remember, he did the same thing with Ricochet.
Yep.
Ilya Dragunov has a bone to pick with Braun Breaker. These two had a match later on in the night. Braun Breaker was defeated by Ilya via DQ because he decided to throw an office chair.
Oh, yeah, the big office chair.
Oh,
moment.
man.
I love it every time. It doesn't matter who does it. I love
Blasted
it.
his ass.
Oh, yeah, every time I love it. And, dude, shout out Ilya, man. God, feed Ilya down my freaking throat every week. I'll take it, just like Braun Breaker. Feed them both to me every week. Every week, dude. Keep it coming.
Judgment Day defeated Braun Strowman in the Awesome Truth. You already know this Judgment Day story. We've been seeing segments all night. Liv Morgan, Rey Mysterio were going to be in the main event against Rey and Zelina. And what do we know? We go into the locker room.
Yep.
Dom and Liv are just sitting there and doing a little stretching. Little stretching. And just the funny faces of Priest walks in, and then the JD, like the walk-hard just mentioned, he's just poking around the corner. Finn's just looking. Carlito walks in. He's like, oh, happy. Carlito. I love Carlito. I love Carlito. Dom stands up. What are you guys doing? Whatever. And then what did he say?
Wait, something about it.
It's not that hard. He goes, I don't know. It looks pretty hard to me.
Yeah, because
That's
Priest
not PG, ladies
Priest
and
was
gentlemen.
telling him to stop hanging out with Liv. He was like, it's not that hard. He was like, oh, I don't know. It looks pretty hard to me.
JD kills me
Carlito's
with the
a
little
gem.
finger that he's doing.
Yeah, dude, but Carlito has slowly become funny as hell
And then
with
Priest,
Judgment Day right now. Dude.
Priest ends up getting a phone call and he's talking to somebody about some consequences and whatever the case may be. So,
Finn asked, he goes,
who is it? And he
what's
said, "Don't
up,
worry
what's
about
up?
it."
What you got some news? He goes, he's like, I'm
I'ma keep it for
this
myself.
Yeah.
Teasing more between Finn and Damian.
But also of what's to come later in the night.
Yes.
We had Damage Control defeating Kate and Katana and Lyra.
Yep.
That was a solid match. I always love when it's time to party.
Yep, solid match. The bigger story with that is just Damage Control. If you've paid attention for the last couple of weeks,
They said
do
they're
you
bigger
remember
than
when
this.
Io was about to turn on Bailey? She was doing the side eye, and you'd catch it if you screenshot it. You have to look at it. She was doing it for weeks on Bailey. She's now doing that to Dakota Kai.
And right after this, we get the formation of another female faction. We get Sonya Deville, Shayna Baszler, and Zoe Starks.
Talking backstage, and who'd you see in the background back there? I seen some guys talking.
Again, you already know. Creed
It was
Brothers.
none other than Chad Gable
Yep, and Creed Brothers.
and the Creed brothers setting up that I'm ready for it. Team Gable. Come on.
Perk Gable.
Injected in my veins, baby. And the main event was Liv and Dom taking on Ray and
main
Zelina.
event.
I don't know if you remember, but there was another moment, not PG, that Dom gets pushed into Liv's
Drop toe hold.
Drop.
Drop toe hold.
Yep.
drop toe hold right into the hoo-ha.
Oh.
It's okay.
And Dom was quick to get out of there, but I don't know why. Finally, though, Dominic Mysterio
Hooters.
does what he's been waiting his entire life to do, and that's pin his father, shoulders to the mat. 1, 2, 3.
Shortly after this, right, Dom is celebrating with Liv, and he gets her down on that mat in a precarious.
Oh, they're straddled.
They're straddled.
Full straddle.
And then the pop of the night.
This is my She had been teased all night. Rhea Ripley, mommy is finally back.
Your dream.
And I'll tell you, my daughter screams so loud because she's the biggest Rhea Ripley fan that I know.
She said,
And that's nothing like the scream it was because my eardrums are still ringing to this
yeah,
day.
I didn't want to kill you guys or wake the neighbors. It was loud. Kid loves her. As we all do, I mean, seriously. Loved it. You kind of knew it was coming. We kind of put the pieces together, as you said.
And what'd she do?
Priest making the phone call. You kind of had to
Gets into
assume
the ring.
it could happen. We here, veteran wrestling fans, we pay attention to everything. I'm watching the clocks. I know when Raw has to be done. Shout out USA Network. Can't wait till we get to Netflix.
Oh, they're
right?
pushing the restraint time every
They are
week.
pushing it close, and I'm like, man, maybe it doesn't
We
happen.
need that 5 minutes again. Remember when it was 11:05?
Yeah. So yeah,
NXT
it was
gets
like
the extra
3
time
minutes
now,
or
which is
so.
okay.
We're
So-
getting to 2 minutes, and I'm like, I don't know if it happens. Lo and behold, it happens.
So anyway, Rhea Ripley finally makes a return. Liv Morgan says, "See ya, I'm out of here,"
Oh, she
and she
needed
takes
to.
off.
She wants nothing to do with mommy.
And Mommy gets in the ring. Dom's like,
Dom's in the doghouse.
in the doghouse, following Rhea up the ramp as we close the show.
Much like Eddie Guerrero to China.
Oh, we're gonna see some puppies and we're gonna see some flowers, and I ain't talking about some titties.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, we're doing it all.
We're seeing this exact storyline play out here in 2024.
Dominic Guerrero.
And Monday
Ending
Night
the show
Raw
with Mommy is
fired
back.
on all cylinders again. Now Mommy, Seth Rollins, all these people that were injured WrestleMania are now back as we go to NXT review after NXT Heatwave. Again, what I think was the better show of the weekend.
Yep. Going here to NXT Tuesday night, rounding out
Tony
what was this?
D'Angelo took on Lexus King
Fifth
for the
straight day,
Heritage
right?
Cup.
Fifth straight day of wrestling WWE. Friday, Saturday,
Yes.
Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. Yeah,
Correct.
this is crazy. Yeah, this
5
is how we're going to
straight
end this
days.
out. Boys, let's keep it moving. Here we go.
Lexus King was unfortunate and wasn't able to pick up the win, but we still love Lexus King here.
Oh, dude, shout out, man. I freaking love Lexus King here.
What are you? You told me the other day that you were a registered.
Lex offender. I saw that online in the IWC. I like it. No, really, we love Lexus King. Dude, you're awesome. You belong in NXT. It's definitely the way to go. When you're in AEW, I didn't like it. They did nothing with you. Lexus King is a great character, and this is where you go right here. And I love Tony D just as much, I have to say. Great match, Heritage Cup.
He was distracted by Eddie Thorpe, but if you remember on NXT Heatwave, we didn't really talk about the vignettes that it played, but they had some X account posts, and it was Lexus King, 4th of July or whatever. He was listening
That's
to
right, he did.
some rock and roll music. He's like, we don't like that.
Yeah.
We don't like that.
It's like Metallica.
Yeah, we don't like
Yeah.
that garbage music that Eddie Thorpe's listening to, the beat bop music or whatever.
I forgot about that.
And then Eddie Thorpe's like, has his little promo fire back, clap back, whatever you want to call it. Then he pops up at NXT and he's standing there at the top playing some EDM, getting the crowd fist pumping like it was Jersey Shore in this mug.
Dude, yeah, that's right. Hey, man. We love Lexus King, man.
And then the No Quarter Catch crew seemingly killed off Damon Kemp from WWE television because Kemp failed to re-sign with WWE as they threw him in the trunk of a car. And this seems to be the new trend with NXT. When you're done in NXT, just go in a trunk or a lake or whatever the hell it is nowadays, right?
Oh, they're getting rid of him.
Tony D has put people in trunks. I mean,
Hey.
last people that went out there are, who was it? The grizzled young vets.
Yep. They didn't come back either.
I thought this was great because there was the segment, right? The one of them is, I can't remember which one, and I apologize because I'm a big fan. It's the guy who's deaf, but Charlie Dempsey turns to ask him a question.
Oh, Bourne.
And because
Again.
he's deaf, he can't hear what the fuck he's asking.
They
So
keep
it's so
doing
funny
that.
because he does the character work.
Uh-huh.
But he's not acting.
No, it's for real. And they're doing it every week, and it's great.
And then maybe the biggest thing of the night, well, I would say the second biggest thing of the night because,
I'm calling
them
it.
boys reunited as Trey Miguel and Zach Wentz, TNA superstars. That's right, you heard it. Zach Wentz made his return to WWE's NXT along with Trey Miguel to join side with Wes Lee as the Rascals reunite in NXT. And we get a big TNA pop, big TNA chant here in the arena. I love it. This crossover is best for business. Best for business. And OTM defeated the OC, so we finally got some closure on that. The match could have been a little bit longer, in my opinion, because this feud's been brewing for weeks. Mi Chen and Jada Parker still doing their thing or whatever. So I don't think we're done yet. But OC, good on them to continue putting over young talent
Yep, and then we
here
see,
on NXT.
Thea Hale defeated Izzy Dame. Just another good win for Thea Hale. What's crazy, though, I saw last night, Thursday, saw that Izzy Dame was actually on TNA. She got a match with Jordan Grace. So they sent her over there. Yeah, they sent her over there. So that was,
Oh, wow.
that was last night. Yeah,
Okay,
crazy.
yeah.
I watched it. I was like, oh, wow. So that's cool.
I must have missed that one.
Yeah. I hope they up the talent level a little more because I saw some people, and I do have to say I agree. I feel like TNA's giving some star power to WWE,
And we're just
of
giving
course.
them lower tier.
Yeah. So, and I don't want to say that because shout out
It's
Izzy
not
Dame.
lower tier, yeah.
Shout out Charlie Dempsey, No Quarter Cash Club crew showing up there now.
I like that, though.
I like that.
But we
just
got the Rascals.
let's
You know what I'm
give them.
saying?
Come on, you know what I want.
I want Moose. I'm being greedy.
Okay, but I know what I want.
But we need to send them someone.
AJ Styles, come on.
Yeah.
I'm dying for that last TNA run for AJ Styles. So let's up the talent, boys. We love the crossover. Let's keep it moving here.
Sol Ruka defeated Fallon Henley, unfortunately.
He loves Fallon Henley. Who doesn't? But Sol Ruka, man, super athletic. I say that every week, and I agree, dude. She's crazy in that ring. She's still green and learning as well, but she's picked it up really good, and that's just because she's super athletic. I freaking love the Soul Snatcher. Love that.
It is a
move.
fantastic finishing maneuver.
And shout out to Fallon Henley and all the women who take that move as well, because it's a setup. You got to be right on point. If you're not perfect, it's gonna mess up. So.
And then a big story on the night was earlier in the night we did see, Ethan Page come out to celebrate as the new NXT Championship, get interrupted by Shawn Spears and cry about, you wouldn't be champion if my view wasn't obstructed. And then Trick Williams came out pissed off, and
Not
that boy was
before
bouncy.
Mensa tried to come out and attack
You're right.
Page again and got taken
He
away.
did.
I can't wait to see
That's
what that
gonna be a
World
good match.
eventually. Yes.
Finally having something here. And then we see Brooks Jensen just trying to make an impact as he takes out Javon Evans of all people and beats the ever-living shit out of him. And Josh Briggs is like, bro, I brought you in. What the hell are you doing here?
This is after Brooks Jensen was invited by Shawn Michaels to have a sit-down conversation with Ava earlier in the night, and he apologized and looks like to turn a new leaf. But he did say at the end of that, he says he's going to make an impact, and that's exactly what I
he
think
did.
he did with Javon Evans.
And that's a good feud.
Yep.
So, and I see Briggs again.
See, this is what I like, because you said you go to these events. I was always the Briggs dude. I was
No.
like, I'm so happy.
They're both good.
I'm so happy when he got this Bradshaw JBL type.
I'm mad they broke him up.
Right! There it is!
Yes!
But listen, I'm so glad he does this JBL. He's got the clothesline. I'm like, yo, love breaks.
Well, that was his best thing when they brought in the JBL.
And yes, but then wild card, he goes these events like I'm saying, and he always says,
dude, he's
Brooks
out
is
here
the better
wearing
one.
Dude, he's out here.
Now I'm seeing it.
Dude, he's out here wearing Motley Crue t-shirts while he's out there. I'm like, yo, this dude.
He's badass.
Yeah, this is like if I had that kind of hair in the 80s, this is who the fuck I would be.
Could we be seeing a new version of a Dean Ambrose-like character?
It could be. And Brooks.
A lunatic fringe.
Yes, a lunatic fringe.
A new loose cannon.
Yeah?
And Brooks, I think.
Maybe he feuds with Lexus King.
Oh, that'd be crazy.
That would be crazy.
Someone has to be coronated. Then, since, Javon Evans was taken out, he was supposed to tag team on the night with Trick Willie again.
Trick Willie!
Against Shawn Spears and Ethan Page. But he didn't have a partner. And I think someone said his name at NXT Heatwave, and he appears.
Say his name and he appears.
We believe in Joe Hendry.
We believe in Joe Hendry.
To London,
In Paris,
And Tokyo.
America,
Scotland, and Canada, and Mexico.
Now,
Now, if I cut y'all off, then we'll just keep
Joe
singing it. That's why I
Hendry.
have to just start talking. See, Cap's still going. It's like he's stuck. Yes, Joe Hendry showed up, graced the screens of NXT for what was his debut match, yes?
No, well, technically he was in the Battle Royal, but it was only 2 minutes.
Man.
But
This is the real debut
that's the
match.
second match in NXT, that's what I'd say.
We'll call it second match in NXT that he participated in. There you go.
But he's in the main event scene in WWE.
Yes, in the WWE. And he was able to showcase, and it was awesome. And I didn't know that I needed a Joe Hendry Trick Willie tag team in my life, and I freaking need it. Wild card. How'd you think about the team?
Trick put him over.
Oh man, give me a buddy cop movie with these two. And
With that high five.
I would
Hey man, dap me up. I got a closed fist, you got an open. Alright, I'll try to dap you up. Now you got an open fist and I got a closed. What the hell's going
absolutely
on?
hysterical. But Joe Hendry not only comes in, but he actually gets the pinfall. He gets the 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
With that big choke slam like move that he performed on Shawn Spears and picks up the 1, 2, 3. And Joe Hendry and Trick Willie are standing tall at the end of the night.
Yeah, dude. Awesome stuff right here. Another solid head-to-toe episode of NXT.
And then they were saying, whoop that Trick. But Trick was using the Joe Hendry wave my hands from side to side motion.
And then Trick Williams tried to pop lock and drop a little bit, a little pop and lock, and then see Joe Hendry kind of participating there in the exclusive. It was great to see. Like I said, you're not watching NXT wrestling each week. You're missing out. You really are. This is great quality stuff. So
And this episode 5 was the longest episode that Talking Like Champions has been able to bring to you guys. Sorry if it was a little long. We had a jam-packed weekend.
Oh, like I
Cash said, we've had 5 consecutive days of WWE to talk about.
WWE. Yes, and of course, we love you guys and we're ready to wrap this up, but we can't leave you just yet. We gotta ask you one important question from a very important
Wild card! Get the tables!
I was gonna say, get the match! Because we want to know, what match are you gonna tell these fans to dive into and watch after you gave
And
us
it's
a
only been an
doubleheader
hour
last
and
week?
20-minute episode so far. We're going to push 125 here. And Wildcard, I think you're going to give us a match. And I think we're going to do something new. We're going to let Cash give us a match as well.
Oh, okay, go ahead, you first.
All right, well, you remember that first week I gave you Cactus Jack and Triple H for the Royal Rumble 2000 from
Yes,
Madison Square Garden.
how could we forget your favorite match of all time?
But there is a sleeper, if not almost better match
Oh, no.
on that card.
There is.
And I am talking about
you were
the
just
tag
watching it,
team
weren't you?
table match between the Dudleys and the Hardys.
Oh,
Yep.
classic.
Super classic. You can't go wrong there.
So again, one more time, just in case you missed that, the wild card is leaving you with this match right here.
It is the tag team tables match between the Dudleys
And the Hardys.
and the Hardys.
at the Royal Rumble.
At the Royal, it actually kicks off the
2000.
show. Pull up Peacock, Royal Rumble 2000.
It is first match, is it? Yeah.
Fun
It
fact,
starts
Cash,
the
who
show.
wins 2000's Royal Rumble?
Oh, fun fact, hit me with one that I'm not sure if I'm even going to remember right now.
Because there is a controversy with this win.
Oh, yeah, there is. Who wins? Vincent McMahon. He always wins.
No.
Now go ahead.
Because we lead into what? WrestleMania 2000.
Which would be the Fatal 4-Way. But The Rock would be declared the winner that night.
Yes.
But go back in later those couple of weeks and we seen footage where The Rock's feet actually hit. So that means the Big Show would have won. But, as they always say, the referee's decision is final.
And it is final. And with that being said, my match to give you guys, since we went so long and we did such a long show, an hour longer actually, we're going to go with an hour-long match. I want you guys to indulge.
Shawn Michaels
Versus
John Cena
in what
Monday Night Raw
type of match? Iron Man match. 1 hour, 60 minutes, however you want to
and
look at
that was
it.
the
Longest match in Raw history, if I'm not
but what
mistaken.
show was that? Wasn't it a very
That was
important
at-
show?
That was UK, if I'm not mistaken. London, that's what it was. Yeah, do it. Long
Speaking
match.
of London, we'll be bringing you
Long show,
the
long match.
AEW All-In preview in
Yeah.
just a few weeks.
Hopefully, no promises. We're working on the AEW correspondent. We'd love to have someone here for that segment, but nonetheless, the three boys are going to give it right down the middle for you. That's it. That's all I got.
And if you haven't yet, stop being a dummy. And
Yeah.
like, subscribe, and follow to Talking Like Champions. We'll see you next week for episode 6. I'm Cash.
I'm
Gotcha.
and he's Cap, and I'm Cash.
And I am the wild card.
And we'll see you guys next time.
Got him.